All right, man. Let's talk about the Pistons head coaching update. James Edwards of The Athletic posted a report saying that with no special inside information, that he just get the feel that Kevin Ollie is the leader in the clubhouse. Now, some of that could change with Budenholzer getting fired. Some people believe Budenholzer wouldn't have any interest in coaching Detroit. Other than if they did land Victor Walla Bananas, what I call him. But check out Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. So, the Pistons, obviously they couldn't go for Ime Udoka because what happened with the assistant GM and the female, not a female, suing the Pistons, rightfully so. And then I'll just say this real quick because I'm not gonna make a specific video speaking on that topic. What we do here on this platform, but I will say, man, discipline. When it comes to anything in life, you gotta have discipline. Life will discipline you, whether it be child support, whether it be losing your job, maybe it be the penitentiary. You gotta have discipline, whether it be a diet plan, a workout plan. Gotta be disciplined. And I always say this on my other channel, check it out, Goodfella TV. I always say this, man. Once you're able to be disciplined with your, I just call it sex drive or your sex desires, I feel like as a man, it's nothing else that you can't master or you can't be disciplined about. So, and I just say this, man. I had an incident. Never mix your money with your honeys. Lady told me that a long time ago. Never mix your money, and this coming from a woman, money with your honeys. Never be in the workplace and mess with women. And I heard this over and over again, and obviously like an idiot, I didn't listen to her, but 2 years later, I learned my lesson. I never make anything more than just friendship. Now, if we don't work there no more, or one person don't work there no more, or whatever, cool, If we vibe, we vibe. But yeah, while we still working there together, I'm good on that. I would just never tell y'all to do that to y'all. So because somebody might feel a certain type of way one day, women get emotional. Some of these dudes get emotional. You talking to another girl could just be casual. She talking to another dude at the job, you get emotional, and then she go to HR or she's bomb on you at the job, or you fighting it and then you lose your job. So it's too many different women in the world to do so. It's too many different options with social media, to do so in the workplace. Trust me, even if you live in a small city, get you some money and fly somewhere else to find you somebody. But so obviously he couldn't be it. They didn't go for a big name. It seemed like they want to go with a younger coach. And I kind of explained in my Budenholzer video. I don't know what's gonna come up first, honestly. I might upload the Budenholzer video first, but if I remember, like I said in that video, I think they kind of need an experienced coach. I don't think they need a youthful coach to grow with these guys. I think they want to win now. They need somebody that done it before. Somebody's gonna preach defense. And they're in a unique situation of needing somebody who know defense and who know offense. Because they need help on both sides, especially if you adding more pieces to the puzzle like Victor or hopefully Brandon Miller. You adding somebody like that, or Porzingis, or you adding a Cam. Well, even not a Cam Jam. I just think if you adding a guy like Victor, you adding somebody who gonna be a vocal point in the offense. You need somebody offensively who's gonna make it work, but just as important offensively, you need somebody defensively that's gonna make it work. So, but yeah, they need both sides of the pendulum, man. They need somebody that's been there before, they know what they doing, and they got a lot of talent. Obviously they didn't call, we don't know, they didn't call Kenny Atkinson. They didn't call, from far as we know, maybe they did, but Atkinson, Mark Jackson. People throwing out Jay Wright name. I think he retired from Villanova, by the way. Brian Shaw. I'm just trying to just think of some names that could be out there. Obviously J Kidd is in Dallas. So yeah, man, I don't know who all out there no more. They have Stan Van Gundy already. So Yeah, I don't really remember who the big name coaches is like that no more. But I mean, then again, you gotta remember Chuck Daly wasn't the biggest name coach out there either when he came in and got the Pistons. I mean, could they think about a Rick Carlisle reunion? I think he Indiana though, so so I mean, I don't know how many big names actually out there. But you talking about Mark Jackson, Kenny Atkinson, some guys out there. Just a few guys I can think of. Ime Udoka wasn't gonna work in their situation. Nick Nurse. So we don't know where they kind of lay at, but James Edwards got to feel that just his feeling on side information. You can take that how you want to take it. That Kevin Ollie is the leader in the clubhouse. Coached at UConn, flaked out there, but did win national championship. Sued them for $11 million for wrongful termination. They got Jaron Collins, which I think kind of his credentials, he probably should be the next head coach, just from the outside looking in. Being with the Warriors organization, I think he played under Jerry Salone in Utah. Being in New Orleans with a young team and know what it takes. Only reason they probably ain't one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the West. Obviously, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram been injured off and on as well too. Is the durability of the athlete today, which was really killing them. So, but I really kind of favor Jaron Collins. Now, Charles Lee is a favorite for the Toronto Raptors job, and he's also a favorite for the Detroit Pistons job. So it might boil down to who offer first, and if you get an offer, with Toronto match the offer. I mean, Detroit's on top of Toronto right now. Pause. Just from the simple fact that international taxes and going over to Toronto, and probably rather stay in the United States. When you talk about the rosters, Toronto kind of like got a good roster, but it's some critical things missing in their roster. They backcourt is small, but they make up for it with Pascal and Scotty Barnes. But what hurts with Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam is neither one of them can shoot. And then in the middle of their defense, they don't have a mainstay there, and then they don't have a real. I don't think they have a true point neither. So I think Toronto's uphill battle with shooting and probably trying to find. Well, Scotty Barnes really like their true point, so really shooting and somebody in the middle that could really anchor that middle of the defense. So I just think those are things they possibly could be missing. But they have a very talented roster. But I just think more shooting, probably gonna be some pieces moving. Pascal Siakam, Nick Nurse got into it. So yeah, they got some assets to work with, but now it's really about, probably finding some guys who can stretch the floor, finding somebody to anchor the middle, and that ain't gonna be easy. So if he had to pick of the litter, he'd probably rather stay in the States and play with Detroit. But if the money is heavily on the Toronto side of things, then obviously if the taxes don't come into play, probably want to stay in Toronto. So but also tidbit that you could be expecting hire next week. Now, I think a smart organization that kind of wanted to make a big splash, they probably would have waited until the lottery and then made their decision. But waiting has a bad thing about waiting as well too, is that the longer you wait, the more your top candidates get hired. And if these three top candidates out of everybody and scraping the surface for a new head coach, and these the 3 guys that they wanted to hire, then that is what it is. But if you got other guys that came into play that they were interested in, or could be available, or might be interested in the job because they landed the number 1 overall pick. And then again, I think that ain't no good thing to do neither. Just a guy that want to come coach the Pistons because you got the number 1 overall pick and now it looks attractive. Like if you ain't want us before that situation came, then you really didn't want us after the situation. Then you just didn't want to be there. So I kind of can see where they coming from that aspect. But if they 3 top candidates, and Kevin Ollie right now is leading, cool. And all 3 of them is expected to go fly out to LA and meet with Tom Gores. Now my thing is this. I think that happened last time with John Beeline, Ime Udoka, and Dwayne Casey. So I don't know where Tom Gores kind of his opinion lay on this at. And then do we do an organizational opinion on this? Or is it like, Troy, like, what you think? This is who I want to hire. What you think? He might be like, well, this guy impressed me a little bit more than that guy. But, I don't know if it's an organizational thing. I don't know if it's like Tom Gores sitting down, like what kind of questions he got. I think more of his questions is going to be kind of bland on the basketball side of thing. But on the other side of thing, especially what happened with the assistant GM, is probably going to be on a little bit more of that. So I think his question is going to be more about, just the community and, integrity and, basketball stuff is going to be on Troy's side of things. But ultimately, I think, do they make the pick as a collective group? You know what I'm saying? Or do they make do Troy say, well, I got a guy, and then, Tom said, well, this is who I like the most. And then they come together and make a pick. So it's interesting. I kind of disagree with the youthful version at this point, in my opinion, of the coach. And I understand why people want a young coach, but I just think they need somebody that know what they're doing. They don't need nobody that's got footsteps in the dark and they going like this shit and they trying to figure it out. They need somebody that know that they got a structure, that, because you got a young coach, he got to figure this shit out. It's different being the coach, setting schedules, practice time. But the one thing I like about two of the candidates, they played in the NBA. They know how I feel. But if I had a preference, first it was Kevin Ollie. From what I'm hearing about Jarron Collins and his history, I'd rather just go with Jarron Collins, quite frankly. So that's who I'd rather roll with, Jarron Collins. But hey, let me know who you girls and guys think. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere. I'm either on TikTok now. So appreciate y'all. Peace.